Welcome all, Boone here from EWPRO, getting straight into the weekly outlook, looking at the DXY on the daily. Nothing's changed on the daily time frame. I'm still looking for more downside. I'm looking at a correction here for more downside. That may be happening at this very moment. We had this impulse down here. We were looking for a correction and at least three down here. Ideally, it goes down and breaks all the lows, and then we can start to look for long-term buys again. On the H1, we sort of had a flat in here. So we had an A, B, C, and yeah, we're in a wave 3 now. So to get in, you got to wait for a wave 4, and then you trade a wave 5 down. AU, we finally made it to this 100 fib here that I've been talking about for ages. We were looking for this 100 fib here, and it's finally got there. So there's not much to do on it at this stage. This is sort of turned more complex. Or sort of looking for 3 down in here to finish off this B wave and then go, but it went early. So there's really not much you can really do here. At this stage, you could scalp going with this trend, but yeah, you'll need a correction. You need a correction in here before you can look to buy. If I just remove these, so I'd be looking for some sort of a scalp, a correction in here. You'd have to be very careful because we're right at that 100 fib. We'll probably see a lot of resistance there. So GU, I was looking for a bigger flat here, and then more upside. But yeah, it looks like it's going early. You sort of got this wave 5 on the H4. We're looking for a wave 5 up here on the H4. And we've got that now. So yeah, again, you'd have to be careful. It looks like we are losing the bearish divergence here in this wave 5. So again, you could look to scalp. You'd be looking for something like if I just remove these quickly, you'd be looking for some sort of like 1, 2, 3. You wait for a wave 4, and then you trade a wave 5 up. EU, we already got to that 100 fib on the weekly. And on the H4, we're looking for a wave 5 up as well. It's just about up to that first target. So again, not much you can really do. You're either in this or you're not. At this stage, we are getting bearish divergence here. So yeah, not really much to do on that at all at this stage. Then overall, I was looking at that A, B, and a C up here. Instead, we got this large correction. So since we got that larger correction, I was just looking for an A, a B, and a C up to this 100 fib. On the H4, this was quite difficult, this correction in here. I'm sort of looking for 3 down in here, which we did get. Like this little C wave here did go and break the ending point of wave A, so technically it is complete. But yeah, so we have some sort of a 1, 2. We're in a wave 3, so you got to wait for a wave 4, and then trade away 5 up if you're not on it. This was quite difficult to get in because I was looking for a little bit more downside in here, just to go and break these lows. But yeah, now you're pretty much, I mean, it's just scalping now. Unless you're already on it, it's just scalping. So you'd be waiting for a little correction and trading with the trend. GY on the daily, looking at this A, all this is a B, and we get a C down here, a larger flat. Then we get a wave 5 up on the weekly. In the meantime, internally here, I'm looking at a WX white. So wait for an X2 and you could trade it as wave Z up. Very risky to be buying up the top here, like I've mentioned. We're getting a lot of bearish divergence on the H4. And same with the H1. So ideally, we get a nice impulse down here, breaking these lows, and then a correction. And then we could look for a sell. I'm more interested in a sell with all the bearish divergence. But yeah, we just haven't got that sell yet. And if you're scalping buys, well, I'd be very careful of this 161.8 here. UI, I'm looking at this A, all this is a B, and we get a C down, a larger flat, before we get an A, B, C, A, B, C. So this could turn quite complex. I'm looking for downside. Move that. But looking for a complete correction here. This is sort of turn motive now. Like we get like a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5 down to finish off this C wave, and then you could start to look for buyers again. We did have the 5 up, an A, B, C that we've been looking at. So yeah, I'll just wait for that to be complete. You could wait for a correction and trade away 5 down on the lower time frames. But other than that, there's not much on it. USD CAD, looking for more downside in here to go and break these lows in this wave Z, like I've gone over. H4, waiting for a wave 4 here. We got that, and we're well and truly in this wave 5 now, as you can see. So again, you're pretty much on it. If you're not on it, well, there's not much you can do now. I wouldn't be buying down here. Because it's nearly broken that ending point of that wave 3. So yeah. USD Swiss franc, looking at this A, B, and a C down to the 100 fib there. Down to this 100 fib here. I've been looking at all this here as corrective, and we get more downside. Well, now the price has broken all the lows, so that's good. We're getting a lot more bullish divergence now, and yeah, I'm just waiting for a buy setup. Basically, I'm not really interested in the sells. I'm more interested in buys now, longer term buy. But yeah, this has been very difficult to trade. I've pretty much been saying just keep out of it. Yeah, there's really not much to do on this. There's been opportunities to get in it, but yeah, you're either on it or you're not really. Again, I wouldn't be looking to get in down here after we've broken all the lows on the daily. I wouldn't be looking to scalp. You could look for some sort of a 1, 2, 3, get a wave 4 and trade a wave 5 down, like many of the other pairs. But yeah, that's about all that's really on it. EG, we're looking for this. Well, we had the 5 up, that leading diagonal. Then I'm looking at an A, a B, and a C down here, larger correction, and then possibly another 5 up. On the H4, we were looking for this wave 4 here. We got that wave 4, and it looks like it's on its way down to give us that wave 5. Very difficult to get in this. I mean, there was a sell on the lower time frames to get in this, but yeah, you're pretty much either on it or you're not, or else you're waiting for a wave 4, like a 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you trade a wave 5 down. Very similar to the others that had that news out last night. So WTI, I'm looking at that WXY. There's two scenarios here. We either get like this larger C up here, or I've been looking at just an A, B, C here, and possibly another one down if I just go down to the lower time frame and show you what we were looking at there. I'll just remove that arrow now, but I was just excuse me, I was looking for that A, B, and a C up to that 100 fib. Well, it already hit the 100 fib. I'd be more bearish on it at this stage. In saying that, we may get like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up in here before it does come down and break the lows. Yeah, this WTI could really go either way at this stage. Looking at gold right up the top of the market here. We got the 5 up here on the daily. I'm really looking for a sell. I'm not really interested in a buy up here. I was looking at this like this A, B, C, but once price starts to go past this 161.8 here, yeah, pretty much have to rule this B wave out. But either way, I'm still just looking for sells. Unless you're scalping with the trend here, there's really not much else to do until you get a sell set up. We're starting to get bearish divergence on pretty much all the time frames. So ideally, what I'd like to see is like a nice impulse down, a correction, and look for a sell. But there is no sells on it. And you could look for buys, just going with the trend like I've been saying for a while now, until we get that sell set up. You're just scalping the buys, and that's pretty much the same as silver here on the daily as well. This has kept on going. Really need a B wave on the daily before I could load up again on for this C wave. But again, you're pretty much just scalping with the trend. That's all you can really do until you start to get a sell set up for a setup for a sell. Bitcoin. There's two scenarios here. Pretty much what I've been saying on YouTube is we got an impulse down, so we're waiting for a correction in here, and we can look for a sell for like an A, B, C in here. What I haven't been really showing you guys on YouTube is, there's a possible flat here, and we can go up and break the top. Like we got 5, 3, and then we get another 5 up. Ideally, because this is looking so choppy, ideally we get like at least another one down, and then you could start to look for buys. But at this stage, I'd still be looking for sells until this low over here is broken. You could look for a sell on the lower time frames, but we got a nice impulse down here. So if we get a correction in here, you could look to sell for at least an A, B, C. S&P 500 right up the top of the market. It's at the second target on the weekly, that 161.8. So there's really not much to do. It's very risky, to be trading right up the top of the market. There is a chance that, we get this looks like another flat here too. Like, it's very choppy because we already had a flat over here. Yeah, it's more of a buy still. This is still more of a buy. I mean, it's a risky buy at the top of the market. You got to be very careful, extremely careful. If you're looking to buy this correction here, you got to be very careful. This may just come up, just break these tops, and then fall over on you with this bear hidden here. So it's extremely risky. Yeah. AU, we're looking at more upside, looking at this flat in here. Let's go up and break the top. It is quite choppy, this. This here is quite choppy. But yeah, you're pretty much just scalping with this trend until you get like a sell setup. Like if we got another high here, and then an impulse down and a bearish correction, well, you could look for a sell. But other than that, really not much to do on it, because I wouldn't be buying into this with this flat here now, because this is too choppy. So it's way too risky to be doing that. I'd be more interested in, even if it does like this, keep on doing this and break the top, I'd still be more interested in letting this go and then look for a sell. The FTSE has pretty much gone too far as well in this B wave. I was looking at an A, B, and a C down before we get more upside on the H4. Really need this C down before you'd look for buys. Right up the top of the market. I should have went to the daily, but you can see we've got a big impulse here. You got to wait for some sort of a correction before you can look to buy longer term again. In the short term, you'd be looking for going with this trend. But yeah, very risky right up these tops. And lastly, the DAX. This is pretty much complete already. You either got on it or you didn't. We were looking at that A, B, and we got a C up. We've already got it with bearish divergence here, so you got to be very careful now. Pretty much leave it alone until you get, well, I'd be looking for a sell setup. We have that bearish divergence there, so yeah, it may not be over in here though. We do have a possible bull hidden here, so you could look to scalp to buy and break the top, but it's just a scalp. So yeah, I hope you've all got something out of this weekly outlook. If you did, please hit the like button, share and subscribe. Enjoy your weekend, and I'll see you out there next week.